We like this shit, see. We like this shit, see. We like this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, jack with a chest mask on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, jack with a chest mask on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, jack with a chest mask on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit, see. We get jacked so quick, jack with a chest mask on that bitch. Turn up and these niggas so 666. We like this shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the AM2 Championship here at Contest of Speed. We are here for round 5 around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in the streets of Montreal. It is a 4.361 kilometer track, 2.71 miles with 14 turns, 3 DRS zones. These AM2 drivers are going to have to navigate that tonight. We'll see who will reign victorious after 35 long laps. I am your host tonight in the booth. It is BK. Join with me tonight, two-time AM3 constructor champion, Sean Boy. Welcome to the booth, sir. Good to have you once again.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here again for our second race together this year.
Definitely, yeah. And our home race, one that you managed to get a podium finish in last night. Tell us about your race yesterday while we get all settled in the qualifying here.
Yeah, it was a good one. I mean, we got absolutely torrential downpour in quali, but an expected dry race, so we had dry setups in, so it was not the most enjoyable quali. Managed to pull out P3 quali, tumbled down the order a bit with a broken wing off the start. Managed to climb back to podium. Honestly, super exciting race. A lot of close battling up front and a lot of people going around and penalties galore. So I'm expecting to see a crazy amount of penalties again tonight.
Definitely, there may be a penalty prediction coming for the race, but that brings me into our qualifying prediction. Cost Bets is live. You can use your channel points to try to win some more channel points, and it's always fun to just get some bragging rights over everybody. We've got Mel Carton now about to start his first flying lap in qualifying. McLaren flying into turn 1 and turn 2, seeing our first on-track action. It is dry in qualifying, different from what we saw last night. It's good for the drivers, but I am hearing, sorry, not Orlando. Male Carton is sliding a little bit. I'm hearing from our pit lane reporter there may be rain in the race, so could be some spicy action coming our way. The rain won't dampen our spirits in the booth. We know it'll make it all the more exciting.
Yeah, it should be even more exciting with a little bit of rain in the race.
Milcard now setting a purple sector 2. As expected, he's the first car setting a lap. Let's take a look back at last race while we have some time here. He's flying down the straight. We got DB the best, who won the race with a big battle against Cam Tizzle, who finished second as well. Melkart actually crossed the line first, but unfortunately, due to penalties, did not maintain that win. Spanini P4, Some Good Salt in P5, who is the championship leader, and Mail Carton comes across the line to set a provisional fastest of 109.875. It's a little brief look in the last race. Looking at the driver standings now, as they sit, Some Good Salt, as I mentioned, is the provisional championship leader. We've got Jamin in second after not a great race last week, but still managing to maintain second. And DB the best sneaking into P3, and Spanini P4, and Cam Tizzle with a good result up into P5. Um, Still lots of change could happen in the championship as the season goes on. What are your thoughts, good sir, on the championship as it stands? I know you've only done 2 races so far, but
I mean, it's still pretty close up front. So, I mean, there's still quite a few races left. So I'm expecting a lot to happen.
100%. Yeah, there's a lot more races left. You know, it's a 12 race season. Almost halfway through, still 7 races left is quite a few races to go. Let's jump on board now with Spanini, who has taken the most pole positions of anyone in AM2 so far this season, with 3. The only other pole position going to Some Good Salt. So those two may be the front runners for pole position tonight, and Spanini actually invalidates on this attempt. Still looking for that elusive win. He is so fast in qualifying trim, as we've seen so far this season, but hasn't managed to step on the top step of that podium despite finishing on that podium on a second place finish earlier this season.
Also, not sure if you saw there while you were going through the standings, but Angel got DQ'd for blocking in the pit lane. So
Angel,
his quality is going to be cut very short.
Angel managing to get disqualified with the early stages of qualifying, and T Nell goes fastest. We were on board with the Alpine driver, the new full-time driver in AM2. Could they be a force to be reckoned with? They looked quick in the couple of races they reserved, but unfortunately last week in Spain got the DNF, and that curtailed their efforts there. What are your thoughts bouncing back after a DNF? You know, you're jumping back into a race, a tricky race in Canada at that, it's a street circuit, and you've just come off a DNF. What are your thoughts going into qualifying?
I mean, you're always a little more stressed out trying to make sure you get a good spot on the grid. You don't want to be starting from the back trying to get some points after a loss the week before.
Definitely, it's a little bit more stressful feeling knowing you have to put up the points from not getting them the previous week. You're going to see Spanini setting his first lap now after going invalid. He is on pole with a 109.5. Like I mentioned before. Oh, I messed up the stream. He is the most pole position so far this season in AM2. He is quick in qualifying trim. Is anybody going to be able to challenge the Red Bull driver tonight? On board now with Red Arrow. Mercedes driver has yet to set a lap, so we'll stay on board with Mercedes. And just thought I'd mention last chance here to get your cost bets in. I know the cost bet says it's going to be open for quite a long time, but I will close it halfway through qualifying like I always do. Don't stress out, children. It'll all be all right. Red arrow now through the airpin, a little close to the wall. I was finding so much trouble through that corner yesterday. It is not an easy one to navigate, and just when you think it's over, you get to go into the Wall of Champions, which is also not the easiest corner to navigate. I mean, despite being our home race, Sean Boy, I wouldn't say that I could speak for both of us that this is not our favorite track.
No, definitely not even in the top 10, I don't think, honestly.
Oh,
It's a very repetitive track.
very repetitive, very tricky, and it's just chicane after chicane, and then hairpin, and then chicane. I just, yeah, it is what it is. I don't know who made this calendar, but speaking of the streets of Canada, Chipman is absolutely flying out there. He's lighting them up. He's got two purple sectors. What it seems to be from the game. Who knows if that's actually true? We'll stay on board with the Alpine driver, who is, I believe, another new full-time driver. Um, so Alpine getting filled up this week in AM2, and he's coming across the line. It's 110.1. He's jumped up from AM3 reserve. It's a pretty solid lap there for him, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, not bad at all. Still plenty of time to go at it again. That's a great spot to be able to really go at it with a little less worry for the final run. Or maybe two more. Depends on how fast you flip around, I'm not sure.
Last week's winner, DB the best, currently sitting in P11. Pablo Plays managing to jump up to P3 though. He's definitely on a slow lap as it stands. Let's see who else is out there. Some good salt, the championship leader. He is not improving, it appears. 8 minutes left in qualifying. This is your last chance to get any predictions in. I'm going to be closing them imminently here, so if you want to risk any channel points, get them in. Some good salt coming through the Wall of Champions now. Probably the most difficult corner of the track. Just getting close to the wall, but not hitting it. And it's not an improvement this time, but pretty close to what he managed to do earlier. So on a used set, that is a good sign, I would say. Ferrari's giving it a tow. Yeah, good eye there by Red Devil in the chat. Good teamwork by the Ferraris. And the prediction will be closing now. We got 6,000 on the under and 3,700 on the over. It's 108.9 the line. So these guys have to improve a bit to give the underdog the money tonight, but we'll see.
The track's heating up. I'm sure we'll see plenty of improvement, but 6/10 is a lot. A lot to try and gain.
I believe we have T Nell just in front of Spanini here. T Nell is 2/10 up into sector 1, so that would, even if they don't improve through the rest of the lap, put them on pole. But we can see in the back of the shot there, the Red Bull just in the picture, trying to set a decent lap of their own. T Nell, a little lock up in through, what is that? Turn 7 there. Or no, that's turn 8 and 9. Coming out of sector 3 now. Just a straight and the worst chicane in the game to deal with. Cam Tizzle says, wish I had a teammate to work with. Aw, man. Hopefully. One of these days. Oh, T-Nell decides that's not going to be good enough for them this time. Spanini continues on. It looks like a pretty competitive lap here. Are we going to jump even quicker? No, not this time. Maybe a mistake that I did not see. Or maybe they were just doing a second warm-up lap, and let's jump on board with the Red Bull driver now, the man who's been on pole well, not every week except for 1 week so far this season.
Looks like we could see Mailcart come across the line here, go up, and he does.
Ooh. Oh, not a safety car. It's not a safety car. Oh, I
What a-
messed up so bad.
What a lap for Mailcart. Jumps straight to pole from 4th or 5th there. He was a 3/10 jump.
I wish that the cameraman would have caught that. That would have been nice. But yeah, it's Mailcart jumping up the pole there with the McLaren. Spanini looking to answer back, and he does. 109.170. I don't know. Yeah, someone's got to fire that cameraman. I don't know what he was doing there.
And my bad, would have warned you earlier, but I was a little slow on it too.
Oh, even if you warned me, I had messed it up so bad that I had no chance of even catching it. But after all that, Mailcart manages to pip Spanini, but Spanini answers right back, and he is a 109.170. 4 minutes left in qualifying. Only less than 2/10 off that margin we need for the prediction. Let's check in with a few of our other drivers. Here's Jamin, unfortunately, is invalidated. Our championship leader, Some Good Salt, may just be beginning their lap. Let's check. Yep, plenty of battery on here for the Ferrari driver. And my cat is jumping on my desk, so if we lose the stream, you know why. Some Good Salt flying through sector 2 now, coming up to turn 8 and 9. Probably my least favorite turn on the track. He's up down on his lap time, 2.5 tenths. He's going to need to find a little bit more improvement as we continue on here. But as mentioned earlier, we may be seeing some weather approaching us for the race. Are some drivers kind of biasing their setup towards the race, taking some wet setups, abandoning the qualifying or taking the blow in qualifying, and then going to be a little bit quicker in the race? What do you think, Sean Boy?
I mean, maybe they are. That's not a bad idea. I wish we had the forecast up here so we knew what the race was looking like. Get a better
Unfortunately,
idea.
in the world of commentating F124, there are no weathermen.
No weathermen out here.
Some good salt. Did go P3 though with that lap. That is a fantastic lap for the Ferrari driver. We've got 2.5 minutes left in qualifying. Doesn't have much time to get back in the pits and get back out, but could see him having enough time. Looks like Millikarten now. He is P2. He's winding up and doing potentially his final run. DB the best, last week's winner in P8. Cam Tizzle, who finished P2 in P10. Those two gentlemen both were. Oh, Millikarten validates actually. Those two gentlemen managed to win those or get those podium positions from pretty far back on the grid. So sure they won't be too concerned at the moment, but their life would be much easier if they were further up the grid. We've got 5 different cars in the top 5. 6 different cars in the top. Oh no, sorry, 5 different cars in the top 5. That's not true. Or 6. All plays is done. Let's see here. Who can we catch on a lap? Sean Boy, DB the best, jumping into the pits. I don't know if he's gonna have time. That's a tough ask. Cam Tizzle flying through sector 3. He is on a warm-up lap. So is the Williams in front of them. That could be DK Nortec. It is. Both gentlemen wondering what the heck is a kilometer right now. Cam Tizzle starts his final flying lap. The Haas driver who just missed out on the win last week. Depending on Stewart's reports, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he could still find himself on that top position. But as it stands, P2 currently from last week. He is turning now towards turn 8 and 9. Very tricky braking zone as you go underneath that bridge. Gotta fling it across the curbs. Oh! And what the heck happened there? Oh, my cat just lied on my keyboard. That's what happened. Millikarten got disqualified. Williams hit the wall. That looks like Jamin. Honestly, shout out to the cat. We wouldn't have seen that without him. And DB the best is also retired. Just unplug the keyboard so we can't do that again. Cam Tizzle coming across the line now, looking to jump up the order. He's sitting in P10. What will it be for last week's P2 finisher? 09, 110.052, and it's a P9 finish in qualifying. I don't believe he's going to have the energy to go for another lap. Where are our main contenders? Spanini is invalidated, so it's up for grabs. The under will not be hit by Spanini tonight. If it's going to be hit by somebody, it has to be someone else. T-Nell appears to be improving. Chipman to cross the line, does not jump in front of their teammate. Orlando is flying on their lap. Where's T-Nell? T-Nell's a little further back. Let's stay on board with Orlando. Bragley looks to be coming to the line now. He decides to go into the pits as well. Not sure Orlando's going to have anything to improve here. No, it does not. Oh, he does this time. 109.674. Decent lap for him. Spanini is done. That was actually Spanini coming into the pits earlier. Let's jump on board with Fragley, who was invalidated. DK Nortec has invalidated. I think everybody's just about done.
That's it.
Cam Tizzle may be our last driver. Oh, I had the cam overlay on the whole time. That was a sign. Oh, it wasn't a sign. He's way down on his lap. Yeah, you're right. He's out of fuel maybe. Poor Cam. And that could just do it for qualifying this time. Cam not able to improve on his last lap. Spanini takes another pole position. That's 4 on the season for the Red Bull driver. Will he be able to hang on for the race? Let's get that prediction paid out for everybody who played, and then we will get the race prediction out immediately so you guys can get your points in. Sean Boy, what are your thoughts on qualifying as we roll into the race here?
It was a good quality. We've seen a fair amount of invalid laps, which is expected around here. So it's obviously you got to be fairly cautious to get around there.
Yeah,
But
and
it was good.
speaking of being cautious to get around with invalidating, that is going to be one of our predictions for the race, which is up right now. You can vote on what you think the over/under is going to be on total penalty seconds. But without further ado, we will take you through the qualifying order. It is Spanini on pole, Milcarton P2, Some Good Salt P3, Pablo Plays P4, T-Nell P5, Orlando P6, Chipman P7, Jamin P8, Cam P9, DB the Best P10, and that is your top 10 here in AM2. See, can anybody jump from outside the top 10? Will it be Spanini taking his first win? Time will tell. We will be back in just a moment. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the AM2 Contest Speed Championship. Round 5 qualifying has completed. We're here for the race now. We have the Red Bull on pole of Spanini yet again, as we are familiar with after 5 rounds in the season. We've got a prediction up for penalty seconds over under. This is a very easy track to get track invalidations on. Sean Boy, what are your thoughts? You think we will hit over a minute in penalties tonight?
I'm trying to think. Wasn't prepared for this question. It's a lot. Honestly, I think yes, there will be.
Will be over a minute. That you heard it here first from Sean Boy. We could see over a minute in penalties tonight. It is dry to start the race, it looks like, but we may see some weather approaching, according to our pit lane reporters. Looks like the heavy favorite so far in the prediction is the over, which is absurd with it being as high as it's ever been, the line in Contest of Speed cost bets history. But see what can happen. Cam Tizzle says it gonna rain. We are here around the streets in Montreal. It's a man-made island, actually. Host to many different events, fun things. One of them being Formula One.
Probably one of the main ones that's hosted there.
Yep. Oh, here we go. We are ready. We got 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are underway for the Canadian Grand Prix. A quick light there, Spanini managing to keep the lead off the line, and we're already underway into turn 2. Milcarton looking really aggressive on the inside, but doesn't get the exit. Looks to be clean so far. No cars dropping too far back. Spanini getting a decent exit there. He's maintained the lead. Jump on board now with Some Good Salt, who has, I believe, jumped up a couple positions after that start. Championship leader looking to maintain that tonight. Oh, looks like the Kicksauber DB the best wheel to wheel with Cam Tizzle yet again, and they make a little bit of contact there, and contact has given Cam Tizzle P13, unfortunately. He's wheel to wheel now with Heavy Chalice. Into the wall of champions we go. Who's going to yield? Cam Tizzle has the inside line. Oh, and that's definitely a warning already for the Ferrari driver of Heavy Chalice. We're one lap into it, and Spanini is the leader. Managed to maintain that lead on the first lap. What are you seeing out there, Sean Boy? Anything happening throughout the field?
Honestly, everyone's still super close, but it seems to be pretty clean racing.
Nobody getting too aggressive yet. Just trying to feel out this race. Trying to see where we go. Everybody knows the rain is coming. Could be coming. Let's get the detail of the tires up on the screen. Quite a good spread of drivers taking the hards. Maybe some drivers thinking the rain could be a little bit later into this race. And now we have DRS enabled. Swanini 3.5 tenths ahead of Mail Carton going down into the wall of champions. Trying to maintain that gap, and he will keep his position this time. The fastest lap being traded through every driver all the way to P5. Looks like Fragley is having a little battle here with DK Nortec through turn 2 into turn 3. Now Fragley has the inside line. DK Nortec on the outside, and he makes it stick. Nice move there from the Williams driver. Decent battle there from those two. Take a little look at that replay of what a move. That's our first decent little battle we've seen so far. And these guys really bringing the action early. 3 laps into this race. A long way to go. But you know when you have to make the move, make it stick. Spanini has a 4.5 tenth gap ahead. Let's jump through to this DRS train here. You can see Chipman is the last car in P7 within DRS of the leader. And Orlando takes the fastest lap. Spanini maintains the lead. Everybody just absolutely hounding him right now. 2 Alpines neck and neck. Chipman and T. Nell trying to work together here to break through the pack. Also got Orlando just a few positions behind his teammate Mel Carton up in P2. DB the best takes our first 3-second penalty on lap 4. We'll close that prediction on lap 10.
We could be getting close to a minute by lap 10.
I mean, for lap 4, the first penalty, that's not bad. I feel like I had 3 penalties by lap 4.
Angel's got another down there.
Oh yeah, there we go. We're racking them up. See Spanini there. Oh, there's Angel once again. Spanini.
13 seconds already.
Oh!
If anyone just wants to note that for their prediction.
13 seconds to the penalties already in the prediction. We got to reach 60, but it is only 5 laps in. If my math is right, that's only, we'll make it at this rate. And Orlando with a 3-second penalty. Spanini doing really well on the hard tires, managing to keep ahead of Mel Carton, who's also on the hard tires, but those two keeping ahead of Pablo, who's on the mediums. And some good solid doing well for himself to just get some decent points positions right now as it stands for his championship fight.
Everyone's still being very cautious. They know they got a lot of laps left in this race.
Yeah, everybody just kind of feeling each other out, waiting to see what happens before the rain comes. And it's something that we spoke about yesterday before our race. It's Montreal. It gon' rain.
It gonna rain.
It gon' rain.
Honestly, I'm quite thankful that ours was just qualifying. We didn't have to worry about it in the race.
100%. Yeah, and looks like Milcard may be as close as he's ever been, but not close enough to Spanini to make a move. DB the best, making some positions down the straight. Over two cars that are blinking, DK Nortec and Fragley. Oh, and DK Nortec picking up a 3-second time penalty into turn one. He's only DB the best 1 second behind Cam Tizzle to renew their battle that they had last week for the win. And Fragley with a 3-second penalty. It's all popping off now. May be good to check out some details in penalties. On lap 6, we've got Orlando, 3 seconds. DB the best, 3 seconds. Or DK Nortec, 3 seconds. Fragley, 3 seconds. And Angel, 13 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure we will see Angel box again, and I'm thinking they'll remove a couple of those while waiting in the box. But
Yeah, 100%. But that still counts to the prediction. That's a
yeah, 100%.
25 total seconds as it stands for the prediction. I'm no doctor, but I think that's what it adds up to. Ooh, Orlando trying to
Oh,
hold off T-Nell. Oh, Orlando actually got another penalty, and there's a safety car.
safety. Orlando and Salt.
Salt got into it. Oh, no.
10-second penalty for Orlando. Contact with Salt. I wish I saw that.
I wish I'd saw that too. I'm sure everybody watching the stream also, they wish they saw that. Safety car has pulled over. We have our first safety car, and it appears to be because of contact between some good Salt and Orlando. Just picked up a 10-second time penalty. So we were just talking about it being 25 seconds. We're up to 35 seconds now.
And we are on lap 7.
We're on lap 7, and
Oh, there's another
Gerwin
3.
getting another 3. That is 38 seconds of penalties on lap 7. Get your predictions in to the cost bets. We have a full-on safety car happening right now. Looks like a decently even split between the predictions right now. Honestly, the under 60.5 at 5,000. If you want to make a little bit of money up right now, I honestly take the over. Oh, some good Salt took a penalty as well. Looks like a 10-second time penalty for speeding into the pits. Oh no.
And we're at 48.
48 seconds of penalties. Definitely the under. I would hit that.
Yeah, definitely good spot to put your money right now.
Absolutely
On the
fantastic.
under.
That's a what's that Tiger Woods bet? Clip? Can't say that on stream, but
Yeah.
that's a great bet. So a familiar sight here, Milcard and Spanini, front of the field. Those two were crossing the line first this time last week, but did not manage to keep their positions due to penalties. They're hoping to reverse that this week, honestly, with a difficult track to stay within the white lines on. It's a tough ask, but doing all they can so far. Now, meanwhile, DB the best, the man who benefited from it last week, has a 3-second penalty. Cam Tizzle staying clean so far in P5.
Yeah, top 5 are still have clean sheets, but there's not many below that are clean sheets anymore.
Yep. I can't remember when I got my first penalty last night. It must have been lap 2.
Yeah, it was pretty early. I managed to smarten up and hold it together and ended up with 6, I think. But I think that was also what most of us ended up with last night.
Yep. I had 12. It was I was getting tired. I got
Yeah,
sleepy.
35 laps right here is a lot for doing the same thing 4
Yep.
times in that one lap.
Yeah. It's just the same corner over and over again. But yeah, just a complaint to file to whoever made the calendar. Panini really loving the toe of that Mercedes or Aston Martin, sorry, safety car. He's just riding on the butt of that guy. That Red Bull appears to be a BMW right now.
We have seen all of the 5-second, 10-second penalties cleared off the board, but
Yep, so we're at 48, right?
yeah, we are at 48.
The prediction closed with the over being the heavy favorite. Under is clinging on for dear life right now with over half the race to go, and we're more than halfway past. Rain is a few laps out, allegedly. That is very interesting information. Potentially information that we should investigate some tires. Everybody deciding to stay out as it stands. Anybody gonna gamble for the Inters at this time, do you think? With a safety car going in?
I I don't think yet, but it's getting dark real quick out
It
there.
is. It is. It is. It was a beautiful day in Montreal, and it is now just a day in Montreal. Just another day with the
Yeah,
rain
I
looming
mean,
over us.
yeah, very typical day for that time of year. Not sure why F1 chose that time of year to have a race in Montreal.
Safety car is gonna be coming in this lap. Let's see Spanini now. He is gonna be leading this field away. All of them trying to get some tire temperatures. Anybody gonna take the gamble? Probably not because I'm not in the grid, but if it were me, I would. It's looking like it's gonna chuck it down any second now.
Yeah.
Everybody eager to get going to get some racing laps before the rain comes down. Panini saying, not yet, guys. Hold on. And here we go. He leads the field away. Lap 11 of 35. And Milkarn got a fantastic jump. He's on the inside into turn 1, but doesn't have the space to make it stick. Few other drivers picking up penalties into turn 1. That I think was 2 more, so we're up to 54 seconds of penalties. Spanini leading the field away. Rain is imminent. Let's jump on board now with a man in P9. Bandude, the Bandude fan club, always mighty in the chat. Let's get the Bandude cam going live here. The V-Carb driver chasing down the pack. Oh, we are back to gameplay as well. He's on the medium tires right now. T-Nell right behind him on the pressure mediums. Is he gonna have an advantage now as the track is getting a little bit slicker and some damage coming off the car in front of him? I believe that could have been Fragley in the Red Bull, who's dropping back of Heavy Chalice. T-Nell launching it on the inside. Oh, yep, cool. Why are all these camera angles so bad? Jamin picking up the 3-second time penalty. Pablo getting a P4 now. Fighting it out with Cam. Looks like the rain is coming down already. I said it could have been a gamble to go for the Inters at that point, but I think anybody who took that gamble would have been laughing now. We're 3 wide as the track is getting slippery. These gentlemen are behaving. DB the best and Cam Tizzle not too unfamiliar at this point. And Spanini is the leader. He has the first call. Is he going to jump into the pits at this point, or is it too early for the Red Bull? The rain light is on. I haven't seen DRS disabled yet. Spanini
I
is going in. Milcarton takes the lead of the race then. He's staying out on a track that's getting a little more slippery. Couple other drivers deciding the pit. Looks like Jamin's in. Pablo's in. Oh, everybody's jumping in. Except for Bandute, Heavy Chalice, Cam Tizzle, and potentially maybe one more. No, everybody else except for those. Oh, no, sorry. Angel staying out. Some Good Salt staying out. Chipman staying out. Coach Garwin staying out. All those guys deciding that it is not time yet. Taking the risk. It's a decent little pack of cars here. Oh, it's getting slippery. Chipman on the back of Coach Garwin. Spanini taking a 3-second time penalty after coming out of the pits. Oh, that could be detrimental to the race, but who knows? With everybody seemingly picking up penalties at this point, we have the longest helicopter cam I've ever seen.
Salt and Angel with a little bit of contact there. Salt broke the left plate off his wing.
Garwin also made a little mistake here. It's really getting wet now. It is wet. DRS is disabled. These guys on the slick tires are losing heaps of time. And we've got Spanini in P12 as it stands. He's already in the hairpin. He's already caught up to the field that stayed out. He is going to potentially jump in front of this entire field here. Mail Carton jumps in the pits. Cam's in the pits. Heavy Chalice is in the pits. Where is Spanini going to come out in all of this? He picked up a
He's
3-second
gotta be at the
penalty,
front.
but he is going to be laughing as he flies all the way down the straight past those guys in the pits, and he has picked up a huge gap here. Cam Tizzle opting for the wet tires. That is interesting. Is this track going to progress to wet? Full wet conditions.
It might. We did see it last night in quali. We were on full wets up until the final lap.
Yeah. Once it gets wet, it gets wet. It is slippery. And Pablo Plays also benefiting from pitting one lap earlier than everybody else. He is up to P3 now. No penalties. Ahead of Cam Tizzle on the full wets, who theoretically should be struggling a little bit more at this point before the track gets a little wetter. But is this potentially a huge Hail Mary for Cam Tizzle, hoping the track gets a little wetter so that he can benefit from those full wet tires? Chipman picks up a 3-second penalty. I think we're approaching the over here, ladies and gentlemen.
We have already surpassed the over, actually. I was just about to say that. I believe that is 63 seconds to complete the over.
Oh, man. That potentially seals the deal on lap 14. Maybe we should have gone for 100 seconds. Bandute is on the hearts. What the heck is Bandute doing?
Bandute.
We're live on Bandute Cam. Oh, and he decides that this is more than enough for him. He's called it quits. Spanini is still your leader. Have to check in with Bandute there. That is wild that it has been this wet for this long and he is still on the hearts up until this moment.
I mean, impressive he managed to stay on the track.
Yeah. Ooh, looks like Jamin's pretty close to the Haas ahead of Cam. Could Cam be struggling right now in the wet tires? Looks like he just doesn't have the grip. Jamin around the outside. Oh, it's super close on the exit, but Jamin managed to pull ahead. Cam Tizzle tucks behind the Williams. open for a slipstream down the straight. Mail Carton picks up a 3-second penalty. That's your top two, both with 3 seconds now. Cam Tizzle to the inside. He reclaims that place now on Jamin down the straight. A huge tank slapper there. Jamin wasn't the one who had it, but he is under pressure now. DB the best getting past, hanging on to his pal Cam Tizzle. Heavy Chalice not too far behind. Some good salt. Interestingly enough, the championship leader down in P16. As he just crosses the line there. T-Nell is chasing down Pablo Plays. These two drivers pretty close together. T-Nell has the 3-second penalty, unfortunately for them. Ooh, is T-Nell gonna have a bit of a run on Pablo here? A little bit of a slipstream. From onboard view, it doesn't look like it's wet enough for wet tires now. Definitely understand why Cam Tizzle may be struggling. Oh, T-Nell sliding through the wall of champions. The final chicane really tricky in the wet. He's now under pressure, but manages to keep that position. Good overtake from the Alpine there. Heavy Chalice is under pressure from Red Arrow. He's also pushing a decent amount against that Williams now. Jamin ahead. Oh, we have a huge slide there. Red Arrow spun out and Orlando gets collected in that collision there. Take a look at that replay right quick. We see just through the tail end of that corner there, through turn 3 and 4. Red Arrow just losing the back end, and Orlando clipping the back of him, losing the back end of his wing. It's unfortunate for the McLaren driver. He's probably going to have to repair that wing, and Cam Tizzle is under pressure now from DB the Best for renewing the fight for P1 from last week in Spain. Cam Tizzle not wanting to relinquish that P5 at the moment. He's 3 seconds back of Pablo, who has been passed by T-Nell. He's maintained that position around the outside that we saw earlier. Cam hoping that the rain just keeps trucking it down right now. He's holding off DB the Best through turns 3 and 4. We go. Very slippery out there for all these drivers. You can see them just sliding around the corners. Very heavy cars still with 17 laps to go in the wet conditions. We can see Jamin just behind Heavy Chalice as well in that shot there. Probably the closest battles on track as it stands. Contact there between Cam and DB the Best.
Didn't look like it hurt anything on either car. Should be okay.
And potentially struggling a little bit more in the slow speed, but honestly, holding on pretty well for having a different compounded tire for these conditions. Good BB transitioning to a full wet track. Oh, DB the Best around the outside, switches back to the inside, and he's going to actually fight that back and gain the position on Cam Tizzle. These two, no strangers. Sure, this fight is far from over, but having said that, Heavy Chalice has closed in considerably. And left Jamin a little bit behind him here. Are they going to be putting Cam Tizzle under pressure in the coming laps.
I could see a good four-way battle upon us here very soon.
Could be. Could be. I wonder if we're stuck in the rain for the remainder of this race or if we're going to see any drying conditions approaching with just around 15 laps to go. It's wild we have that many left. But it will really start to slow down here as it gets wetter and wetter. Cam Tizzle making the move. T-Nell gets a 3-second penalty. Red Arrow with a 3-second penalty. Let's see some penalties on the board here. DK Nortec with a 3-second penalty. So we've got 6, 12, 18, 21, 27, 30, 36, 39, 42, 48, 56 alone with just a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, we've definitely smashed the over tonight. Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think 100 seconds would be enough tonight.
I think we would have hit it with 100 for sure.
Yeah.
So I will complete that prediction here just a moment. Anybody who wants to throw up another one potentially for who will win the race, feel free to. But that is our 2 predictions for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Pablo Plays is still holding on to T-Nell pretty well here, but Spanini and Mailcarn really the class of the field right now. They're absolutely flying out there. We're on board with Cam Tizzle in the Haas. Has drifted just a bit from the kick Sauber ahead of him, unfortunately for his sake. Ooh, DB the best, just sliding. There's not much other way you can make it around this track in these conditions, though.
Yeah, throw it in, hope you stick at least a little bit.
Field's getting a little bit more spread out here as we go along.
Yeah, everyone's starting to settle into the rain.
Bandude, the real underdog story, absolutely. Let's see what Bandude can do here. DB the best, picking up a 3-second penalty. Not that that will do anything for the prediction. Bandude, very lonely right now. He's got Fragley just behind, 12 seconds back of DK. Oh, a little slide there. Is he on slicks still? No, he's on inters. I was like, is that soft tires?
Looks like the Banduke fan club still has hope.
Yep.
We've
Yeah,
been
that's what I was
holding around
saying.
here.
And then, dude, as we mentioned, him picks up a 3-second penalty.
Yeah.
We're on board here with the Ferrari of Heavy Chalice. You can just hear how much he's struggling to get that power down. As we exit out of turn 2 now. Just listen to that wheel spin. Off the rev limiter for several seconds there. Just trying to get that car moving. Any sort of forward momentum. Huff and Novak. Huff said right before Bandu got a penalty, Bandu would love a safety car right now. And then he got the penalty. It's just, that's on you, Huff. I can't wear that one.
No. Oh, poor Huff.
Red Arrow is chasing down Jamin in the wet. Pretty close battle here. Oh, he's on the inside. The Mercedes driver.
Oh.
Does not have enough now. What he really wants that position. The battery is being drained. These two, are they going to go wheel to wheel into the wall of champions in the wet? Not this time. Jamin concedes the position. Lives to fight another day. But props to these gentlemen for giving us some action in the rain here. We've got just over 11 laps to go. My cat is knocking all the stuff off my desk right now. Oh, what happened there to Angel?
It did not look like much actually. I was on board watching with the car behind. With Garwin. Garwin, I can't remember how he told us to pronounce it, my bad. But
Ah, you tried. You tried.
yeah, I tried. I remembered he mentioned it, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, it honestly kind of looked like Angel got out of the way.
You be the best is putting Pablo under some pressure. Oh, Pablo a little twitchy in the wall of champions. All over the back of that V car, both of them sliding out of turn 2. We're flying into turn 3 now and 4. Next opportunity to overtake will be on the exit of 7. But he's going to need a mega run to make that stick. The best chance is out of the hairpin down the straight. Sticks behind him this time. Falling down now into turn 10, the hairpin. Oh, he's on the inside trying to unsettle the V-car. A little deep there, but managed to make it stick. A switchback coming out from Pablo. Doesn't have the drive to get alongside the V-car down the straight. He does have the advantage of the slipstream now if he has any battery left. And he does. He pulls alongside the Kick Sauber, going into the wall of champions and reclaims that position. Nicely judged there for Pablo. Manages to keep P4 and he does not have that penalty, so that is crucial in this fight now just to stay clean. Doesn't matter where he finishes behind this Kick Sauber or in front. Just to keep without penalties will guarantee his position. The Cam Tizzle. Oh, Jamin left the session. If you have him, could you send him an invite, my good sir?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I do or not, but we shall check.
Say, Heavy Chalice is under, not under pressure, but putting the pressure on Cam Tizzle, who took the gamble for the wet tires. It hasn't worked out for him so far. We still have 9 laps to go. It could continue to get wetter as we go. It does look pretty heavy rain right now. But you jump on board and it's definitely intermediate conditions with a clear dry line. Heavy Chalice getting so close under braking into turn 10. We exit turn 11, flying down the straight now. Will he have enough drive? He's not spending the battery this occasion. Red Arrow picks up a 3-second time penalty. Not good for his campaign. He's in the points right now, but there are drivers close by. Any penalties will certainly hurt him. And speaking of being hurt, Some Good Salt out of the points right now. Our championship leader is not looking too hot as it stands for him. And Jamin, the man in P2, he's down in P10 right alongside Some Good Salt. Unfortunately, losing a couple positions after lagging out of the session. But we could see a big change in the championship this week as it stands. Jamin needs an invite. Okay, Seanboy, do you have Jamin?
I do have Jamin, but it's showing him offline. I sent one anyway, but not sure. Not sure if it's gonna get to him.
Perfect. Send him another if you could, and
Yeah.
yeah, we'll hopefully get him back in here. Orlando with that broken wing that we saw earlier from the back of Red Arrow. Unfortunately, Red Arrow losing the back end of the car, and Orlando had nowhere to go. He's still hanging on decently to the Mercedes right now. Props to the McLaren driver for sticking with it, fighting for those final points as hard as he can. Jamin finds his way back in. Whoa!
Ooh.
Red Arrow getting super slippery there. We were flying into turn 6, and he lost the back end. And he loses the position to Orlando. That was insanely close there for those two drivers. We're on board with the replay. Oh, Orlando lucky to make it out there without any contact. Lost his wing earlier with a similar type of incident. Red Arrow opting just to let him by, it looks like. Some Good Salt getting ahead of Jamin there. Looks like Jamin is back in his car, fortunately for him. But unfortunately for him, he does have that 3-second penalty. He's out of the points right now. After that leg out, it has cost him severely. Cam Tizzle is now all over the back of Pablo Plays. Not sure, was he ahead of him earlier? I can't remember. I think he was at one point. It's Cam just fighting to hang on to the Sauber right now. Or is he gaining time? Cam appears to be pretty healthy with his ERS management. But he is deploying, in this case, trying to catch up to Pablo down the main straight. Why am I getting Discord notifications? Orlando with the 3 seconds. He's in the top 10. That's going to hurt him, certainly, with Heavy Chalice and Some Good Salt behind with no penalties. Heavy Chalice getting past Orlando now. Oh, we got a 3-car fight with Red Arrow and the Ferrari of Heavy Chalice and Orlando flying now into turn 3. Heavy Chalice appears to have gotten the best of these two drivers. Red Arrow sliding a bit behind. Orlando trying to fight for all his might with a broken wing on the wet line. Oh, he doesn't have the braking this time to send it on the inside of the Ferrari. Cam Tizzle also dropped back about 2 seconds from Pablo there. He must have made a huge mistake. He was right on the back of the V car before we switched off. Let's jump with Orlando here. He's chasing down that Ferrari, missing that right end plate. We have got about 5 laps to go now. Spanini is still in the lead with the gap to Milcard despite his penalties to maintain that. T Nell in P3. Much further back. DB the best P4. Pablo plays P5. He's your first driver without a penalty tonight. Oh, DB the best is out of the
Oh no.
session. We're on board with Orlando. Oh, there's the kick Sauber. He's lost it on. Oh, and Orlando apparently made contact there with the Ferrari ahead. Let's clip that. And
Raggedy was a drive-through.
Ragley with a drive-through. It's all happening right now. And yes, big for Pablo. DB the best, who was sitting up in that top 5, as unfortunately DNF'd. Last week's winner is out of the race on lap 31, and we are going to get a very spicy last few laps shootout here in the wet. Let's take a look at that replay where we could see DB the best unfortunately retired on the racetrack and hear the contact, see the contact between the McLaren and the Ferrari. You can see him come to a very slow stop there. Get back to the action now. T-Nell with a drive through. No! The P3, man. He's good. Picked himself up a drive through penalty, and let's see what these drivers are putting on for tires now. Melkarn with the wets, T-Nell with the wets, Spanini with the inters, Jamin with the drive-through. Oh no.
Orlando as well.
It's anybody's game, but it's seeming that Orlando's retired from the session after that drive-through. He knows his race is over. Um, Pablo may be in the driver's seat here.
Yeah, this is pretty much perfect scenario for Pablo right now.
Pablo is the happiest man in the world. Spanini couldn't be more disappointed. He was doing everything he could to get his first win of the season. Unfortunately, he picked up a 3-second time penalty earlier that is going to haunt him now, as he is the leader of the race and the only driver in the top 5 on the intermediate tire. He's not the only driver on the track on the intermediate, so it is kind of a 50-50 it appears to seem right now. But he is the leader of the race and he is on the intermediate tires, and we see Orlando's AI just pulling over and coming to a stop. Let's get the safety car overlay up right now. And T-Nell is retiring from the session as well after that drive-through penalty. Unfortunate to go so far into that race for that to happen. Those few drivers. But that's where we are at now, and we'll have just a few more, or maybe this last lap before the safety car comes in. Bernd Mailander getting some hours in.
For the Bandu fan club out there, he is only 2 spots away from points now. So whoever's watching, he is climbing back up.
safety car in this lap. Oh man.
So I have quite the gap between P7 and 6 right now as well.
Yeah, Spanini, if he is looking to just leave everybody else behind, would be smart to get a fast restart here. Here we go now. Only going to be 2 laps to go once we get going here. Finally, Spanini on the intermediate tires, the lone wolf in the top 4. He's got 3 on the full wets behind him, 2 without penalties. Who is going to take the checkered flag tonight? And we're green once again. It is appearing to be a little bit more wet than it was earlier. The conditions haven't improved. Rare to see those extreme wet blue wall tires out on track, but we have the majority of the grid on them right now. Only 3 drivers on the intermediates. Spanini appears to be under a bit of pressure from Mail Carton right now. Oh, Pablo plays, has unfortunately conceded position to Cam Tizzle as well. Cam Tizzle in the driver's seat now. He came so close last week. Unfortunately, did not stand on the top step, but he is right there this week yet again, and we are flying down the back straight into the Wall of Champions to start the final lap of the race. Sean Boy, 1 lap to go. Who do you think is going to win this? Cam Tizzle pulling in the inside of Mail Carton. Oh, not this time.
I think Cam Tizzle just plays it safe here. He should be able to hold it off.
And those conditions are looking treacherous right now. There's so much spray out there, you can hardly see the cars. Spanini keeping the lead on track, but not managing to extend his gap enough. Cam Tizzle within a second and a bit of the leader. And this gap is honestly going to take us all the way down to P6. Those drivers from P3 to P6 are going to jump the leaders, it looks like. Including the championship leader, Some Good Salt, which is huge for his campaign. Cam Tizzle, 9/10 back of those in front. Spanini just a little bit wide going into turn 10. He's managing to keep that position. I don't think he's going to have anything to say here to hold on to the lead. We're on board now with Cam Tizzle, the lead driver without any penalties. He's just got one final turn to navigate. Svanini as well, Mail Carton as well. They're going to cross the line 1-2. But unfortunately for them, it's not their day. Cam Tizzle is going to win in Canada. P1 for the Haas driver. Pablo plays P2. Spanini actually manages to maintain P3, so he stays on the podium. Mail Carton P4 as well. Does not drop any further down. Some Good Salt P5 on the wets. Heavy Chalice P6, a good result for the Ferrari drivers. DK Nortec P7. Van Doot P8. And Angel is called it quits at the line. Looks like he tried to drift it across the line and did not get it right. Haas domination, says Huff. Yes, that's what we saw. Did not lead 1 lap of the race. Gets the win.
Very Haas-like things.
Congratulations, though, to Cam Tizzle. Fantastic race. Managed to get a win after being so competitive last week. Almost managed to get the win last week and comes back even stronger this week. Gets the driver of the day as well, for good measure. We will take you through the finishing order of the grid after we enjoy some podium celebrations Congratulations to Cam, congratulations to Pablo, and to Spanini. Again, sure who will be just a little bit disappointed with that podium after leading almost every race of the season so far. Just has not yet claimed that win. It is eluding them, but I'm sure it will come soon. Congratulations yet again to Cam. We will take a look at this finishing order. We had Cam Tizzle taking the win, Pablo in P2, Spanini P3, Mail Carton P4, Some Good Salt P5, Heavy Chalice P6, DK Nortec P7, Bandute P8, Red Arrow P9, Coast Garwin P10, Chipman P11, Fregley P12, Angel P13, T-Nell P14, Orlando P15, Jamin 16th, DB the Best 17th. That is the entire grid for tonight. I want to thank you all for joining us. We'll be back in a moment for interviews if you want to stick around. But if you're not, thank you for joining us for the stream. We'll see you next week. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the interview booth. We have joining us tonight our P1 and P3 finishers. Unfortunately, Pablo will not be joining us tonight in the V car. But to start things off, we will be speaking with Spanini. Spanini, congratulations yet again on another podium, but I can't help but think you're just a little bit disappointed with that result. Just talk us through your race.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the imminent rain, I guess, when we were in quali and was like trying to decide on like, do I go for a more downforcey setup or not? I ended up just picking my dry setup and then hopefully just get on the hard tire and see where it goes from there. And it kind of worked out. I mean, I think it would have been fine, but then that safety car came out pretty early. Or like I forgot what lap, but my hards were like only like 6%. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pit onto the mediums or anything, and then just wait out the rain. And I think the rain started pretty much right after the safety car went in, so that worked out. I mean, like in the rain, that was probably the hardest race I've done, like technically. Like it was pretty much ice out there. And I'm surprised the safety car didn't come out sooner, but of course it likes to come out at the worst possible moment. Kind of screwed over me and Mail Carton, which I think we both did a really solid race. But fair play to Cam and Pablo, no penalties, and a track that's like really hard to do that. So yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, I can get a win one day, but it's I still gotta wait for it.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, you drove excellently. I don't think that win is far away. It's eluding you right now, but it's not too far away. You're doing everything right. But congratulations again on another podium. That's certainly going to help finishing it ahead of those that are ahead of you in the championship. But that's all for me. Sean Boy, you got any questions for our P3 finisher?
Well, I mean, first, big congratulations. I know it definitely wasn't the outcome you were hoping for. You probably expected with 4 laps to go. But just I guess walk me through that final restart and knowing that you had 4 or 5 cars that could have kind of slid through and overtaken you if you didn't fly through, and you managed to, I mean, hold off solid amount of them, only fallen 2 spots. So what was that? What was your thought process going into that one?
Yeah, I was already kind of mad that I didn't put onto the wets. I thought I had it set, but I was like kind of already panicking that there was a safety car, and I just forgot to set it to the wet tire. So immediately, pretty much every chicane, there's like zero grip. All I could do is pretty hard to overtake, especially without DRS. So all I did pretty much was take my time through the chicanes. They can't overtake me there. And then just dump my battery on every straight. And I'd really try to prioritize, especially the hairpin. Um, and I think like a lap, the safety cars like went in like the lap right after, I guess. Like I got a really good exit out of the hairpin. Like I pulled like 8 tenths on Mail Carton. And so I had a little bit of hope, and it's like, okay, maybe they'll start fighting. Something would happen, but then I would go through that final chicane and they're right back on me again. So I mean, I just put my car in the middle, used all my battery so they couldn't overtake me, and then just kind of hoped that maybe some fighting that happens in the back would give me enough of a gap to keep at least like podium, which I easily could have been like P5, but ended up getting away with it. But yeah, I mean, it was very risky, very like going through. I think like turn two, man, turn two is horrible on inters at that condition. I was like third gear, barely revving, but I didn't want to spin out my didn't want to spin out my car. So I was like, I could tell like Mel Carton was just gonna push me along instead. It would have been faster, but yeah, it was interesting.
Definitely, yeah.
it was definitely definitely well well done, and you placed your car pretty well to hold it together there.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good point. Just to hang on and maintain the podium is a good job there with the late safety car in the wet. So congratulations again on another podium, and look forward to Monaco next week. Hopefully, you're good at getting the pole position. Hopefully, that's one that can pan out for you. So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
Congratulations, man. We'll move on now to our winner this week. He finished second last week, making a triumphant return to contest of speed. Cam Tizzle, congratulations on the win. Just give us your thoughts on what seemed to be a race that just came to you towards the end.
Well, I would say, well, I'd say I have really good race pace. Obviously, I haven't been qualifying as well as you would think with like how I'm finishing or whatever. But I don't know what it is about qualifying versus my race pace. I guess I'm just really consistent and have enough pace in the race. But I will say at the very start of that race, I actually almost spun into the barrier right off the gate because I spun the rear tires a little too much. But anyways, as the race went on, though, I mean, so in the weather screen before the race started, um, it showed like how like the weather is like split up in these little blocks, and it showed basically interweather for one block, and then two blocks of heavy wet at the very end. So that's the reason why I pitted onto um the wet tires so early because I was just thinking, I'll get a jump on like anyone else that pits on the inters, and then I'll have a majority of the end of the race on wets. But the wets ended up becoming useful only in the last like 10 laps, which I didn't really expect. I thought they were going to kick in a little bit earlier. But as soon as that safety car came out, I was definitely feeling good. I knew based off penalties that I was sitting in a good spot, but I still wasn't expecting to necessarily get first because I knew I had Mil Carton and Spunini in front of me, and um, I know those two are very, very solid drivers and definitely faster than me. And as you could see, throughout the whole race, where they were just clear of the field, they really deserved it. Kind of like I said last week, they both of them really deserved it last week. But I mean, it is what it is. That's the way racing goes. Safety cars happen, and it sometimes screws people, and sometimes it doesn't. So I mean, I'll take the win, but it doesn't feel like I won necessarily like this like the same way as like, actually being at the front of the field crossing the line.
Definitely, yeah. A little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a tainted win. I don't know if you would call it even that, just a little asterisk, I guess. But
Yeah,
you
the
still.
Make-A-Wish Foundation really kind of helped me out there.
I think that Spanini put it well earlier when he said that you did so well to not go off track in a track that's really easy to do that in the wet. But like
Yeah.
especially in the dry in itself, but especially in the wet. So like he said, you might not have crossed the line first, but you did the best to keep it on track and go the fastest while doing it. So uh, congratulations from me, Sean Boy. You got any questions for our winner?
I don't think too much. I guess just obviously big congrats. That was quite a hectic race. Obviously jumping to the wets, but coming into that final safety car, what was your thoughts? Obviously knowing you had the penalty advantage, but also knowing there was 4 cars behind you without penalties as well, so you couldn't really slack off
Um,
too much and just sit there.
I mean, you did make an overtake on Pablo, no, in that last safety car restart to get that win.
yeah, so I will say that I think just being on the wets for like pretty much more than anyone else in that entire race kind of helped with that safety car restart, just kind of knowing what kind of like line and how early I'm going to get on the throttle and the overtaking Pablo because he'd been running injured the whole time. He hadn't actually switched to the wets and felt under race pace like what the grip was going to be like. So I feel like that helped me a little bit too. And I just took it. And honestly, I couldn't have taken that line into the final corner any better than I did. And that allowed me to overtake him into turn one. So I feel like that's probably a contributing factor into what even got me the win in the first place. Because I mean, if I was on Enders the whole race and then switched to wets or whatever, who knows like where I would have placed in the end.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a very good effort for you, sir, to have the courage to go on the wets as early as you did, and to stick it out to the end of make an overtake on the final restart and get the win without any penalties. So congratulations from both of us in the booth. Great race,
Thanks,
first
sir.
win of the season. I think that's all the questions we have for our podium finishers tonight. Um, but with that being said, if you're looking for more contest and speed action, you can get that tomorrow. I believe 4 p.m. Eastern for EU1 and 9 p.m. Eastern for AM1. We're back at Canada for that race. But for AM2, we're going to be back next week, round 6, Monaco. That is going to be an interesting one for all of us involved. If you want to see that, we'll see you there. for all of us that have joined us tonight in the booth. Spanini, Cam Tizzle, and Sean Boyd. Thank you for joining us. We will see you next week.